Welcome back to Polarity Plunge YouTube channel, where we talk all things, all modalities, all techniques, holistic health, mind, body, and soul, how to be healthy holistically, and really shift our perspective when we have something physically hard that the mind and even the soul can help us to solve it. Or if we have something emotionally or mentally hard, then the body can help us. And that really mind, body, and spirit are one, right? Holistic. Today, we're going to be talking about how to use our body in an ancient technique called toning to relieve the mind, release the stress and the excessive energy that we have up in our mind. In today's modern era, there's a lot of distraction, there's a lot of issues that we have to face, that we have to solve. There's a lot of just busyness in our day-to-day. It's a different time where we always seem to be chronically overwhelmed with things to do. And even when we're not having to do something, we have a tendency to overthink and to stress and to plan and to analyze. So this is a technique, an ancient technique, like I said, that helps us drop out of the mind, really relieve a lot of the excessive energy and send it out. And it's called toning. So it's from Eastern philosophy. The Buddhic literature really talks about a lot of the different ways that you can do chanting and toning, and it will probably seem uncomfortable. You watching me do this might even be awkward because we're used to, especially when we're overthinking, just keeping everything inside and not expressing how we feel. The one way that we're starting to learn how to express is through therapy, right? That's becoming a lot more mainstream than it was even just 10, 20 years ago. People are talking about what they're going through more. This isn't necessarily talking. It's not using the mind as much to try to articulate the issues or the overwhelm in which we're feeling. Instead, it's just using our body and specifically our vocal cords to not try to make sense of what comes out, but just release the energy. And if you would have shown me this a couple of years ago, I probably would have been like, that's weird. I don't want to try that. But having experienced it, learning about it, and then also experiencing it, it is something that I probably use now the most out of all the techniques that I use to release a lot of the excessive energy and overthinking and the mental just stories and commotion that's going on in my head. This is what I use all the time. I use it even when I'm just driving alone in my car, and I'll use it in the morning even on my walks. So the way in which you do this is through the breath and through toning of your voice. You inhale whatever the feeling is, whatever the overwhelm is, whatever the stress or the story is that you're trapped in. Instead of trying to think and articulate the story, you just breathe it in with a sharp inhale through the nose. Now it's important that you're not inhaling like this and tensing your shoulders, because that's just adding more tension and more constriction to our body. So we really want to be breathing deep into our belly. Our diaphragm is the location right below our rib cage, and that's actually where we're supposed to be breathing. Here is the bottom of our lungs. There's a lot of studies that show that oxygen hardly ever gets down to that area because we don't breathe deep enough, especially when we're in our heads. So breathing down in this area, expanding it out on the inhale and making it a sharp inhale. And then as you exhale, letting whatever sound come out of your mouth, no matter what it sounds like. And I never try to think about the sound. I'm not trying to harmonize or make a pretty sound come out of my mouth. I'm just releasing a sound on the exhales. So doing that big inhale like this, and then and that's why it can feel very awkward at times, is because it'll sound just like a groan or a moan or like I'm in pain. And I'm not, well, maybe I am, my mind doesn't even know it, but really just releasing whatever sound comes out your mouth. And doing this even on camera feels awkward to me, but if I can drop out of my mind and really just drop into the body, it becomes a very freeing thing. And after a couple times of doing this, I am no longer feeling the tension, constriction of this mental commotion that's going on in my head. We'll do this together a few times and it'll be fun. So we inhale into the belly, into the diaphragm, and hold. And out. Inhale into the belly and hold. And exhale, dropping the jaw, dropping whatever sounds coming out of the mouth, letting it just come out, maybe increasing the volume a little bit on this next one. Inhale into the diaphragm, and hold. And exhale. We'll do one more. Inhale, inhale into the diaphragm and hold. Paying attention to the silence that's within you, the silence that's growing in your mind, the stillness that's growing and settling in your body. Hold for 5 more seconds. And exhale, letting out whatever sound, relaxing the jaw, relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the hips in your seat. And coming back, breathing normal, blink and open your eyes. It might be interesting that you weren't able to even make a sound, maybe. Or maybe you made a sound and it didn't sound right or familiar. It was just a sound you've never made before. These vibrations, because sound is really about the vibration, right? It is the audibleness of it, but it's also the vibration. The vibration that you are allowing to come out, to release, is doing a clearing of not just your mind and your mental headspace, but actually your whole body, your whole energetic system, because our entire body and even all of our cells are communicating, and they communicate through vibration. So allowing this to happen and to be released and to have whatever vibration leave is going to work wonders in your life. Even if you're a skeptic, I invite you to continue to practice this, and I would love to hear in the comments if you had any experiences that have helped you or that have been even revolutionary. Thank you, and remember to keep smiling.